Welcome to What Is, the show where we peel back the wrapping paper on the things you thought you knew, only to find a much weirder, more complicated gift inside. Today, we're tackling a holiday staple that everyone can sing, but almost nobody can explain. We're asking, what is the 12 days of Christmas? Now, if you ask the average person when the 12 days of Christmas are, they'll probably point to the 2 weeks leading up to December 25th. You know, the frantic shopping period where you're fighting a stranger for the last air fryer at Target. But, historically and liturgically speaking, those people are wrong. In fact, if you start your 12-day countdown on December 13th, you're missing the party entirely. The 12 days of Christmas actually begin on Christmas Day, December 25th, and run until January 5th. This period is known as Christmastide. It's the bridge between the birth of Jesus and the arrival of the Magi, or the Three Wise Men, which is celebrated on January 6th, the feast of the Epiphany. So, while we're usually taking down the tree and nursing a holiday fruitcake hangover on December 26th, the traditional celebration was actually just getting warmed up. But where did this time frame come from? It wasn't just a random decision by a bored calendar maker. Back in the year 567, the Council of Tours, a group of high-ranking church officials, decided that the entire period between Christmas and Epiphany should be a sacred, festive season. This was a pretty brilliant PR move. By creating a 12-day festival, they managed to unify various European celebrations and, more importantly, give people a reason to keep the vibes high during the darkest, coldest part of the year. For centuries, this wasn't just a religious observance, it was a full-blown party. In the Middle Ages, the 12 days were a time of misrule. In many parts of Europe, social hierarchies were flipped on their heads. A peasant might be crowned the Lord of Misrule, and for 12 days, the nobility had to wait on the commoners. It was basically the purge, but with more spiced ale and fewer chainsaws. But let's get to the elephant, or rather, the partridge in the room. When we hear the 12 days of Christmas, we immediately think of the song. You know the one. It's the cumulative carol that becomes an endurance test for your memory and your vocal cords. The song was first published in a 1780 children's book titled Mirth Without Mischief. It wasn't originally a hymn. It was a memory game. You'd gather around the fire, and each person would have to recite all the previous gifts, plus a new one. If you messed up, you had to pay a forfeit, usually a kiss or a piece of candy. Now, if you actually look at the list of gifts in the song, things get weird. Let's tally it up. By the time you get to the 12th day, you have accumulated 12 partridges, 22 turtle doves, 30 French hens, 36 calling birds, 40 gold rings, 42 geese a laying, 42 swans a swimming, 40 maids a milking, 36 ladies dancing, 30 lords a leaping, 22 pipers piping, and 12 drummers drumming. That is a total of 364 gifts. From a logistical standpoint, this is a nightmare. Your backyard is now a high-density bird sanctuary. You have 56 professional performers living in your guest house. You have 40 cows that need milking, and you're probably being sued for several noise complaints and multiple zoning violations. Also, have you ever looked at the sheer volume of poultry? 6 out of the 12 days are just different types of birds. In the 18th century, birds were a sign of wealth and a primary food source, but this feels personal. It's like the true love in the song is trying to open a very specific, very loud petting zoo in your living room. There is a popular urban legend that says the song was actually a secret catechism used by persecuted Catholics in England. The theory goes that each gift represents a religious symbol. The true love is God. The partridge in a pear tree is Jesus. The 2 turtle doves are the Old and New Testaments, and so on. It's a beautiful idea, but most historians agree it's almost certainly bunk. There's no historical evidence to support it, and most of the symbols don't actually make sense in a secret code context. It's more likely that the song is exactly what it looks like. A whimsical, slightly nonsensical list of things a wealthy person might actually give someone in the 1700s, except for the 5 golden rings. Some historians believe those aren't actually pieces of jewelry, but rather gold spinks, which is an old name for goldfinches. So, yeah, even more birds. But back to the actual days. Each of the 12 days has its own significance. December 26th is St. Stephen's Day, known in the UK and Commonwealth as Boxing Day. Contrary to popular belief, it's not about fighting your relatives for the TV remote. It historically involved giving boxes of food or money to the poor. Then you have the Feast of the Holy Innocents, New Year's Eve, and eventually the big finale, Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night, celebrated on the evening of January 5th, was the ultimate blowout. In Tudor England, this was the biggest party of the year. There was a special cake, a king cake, baked with a bean or a pea inside. Whoever found the bean became the king for the night. This is also where we get the superstition about taking down your Christmas decorations. Traditional lore says that if you don't have your tree and greenery down by the end of the 12th day, you'll have bad luck for the rest of the year. Some even believed that if you left the ivy up, the wood sprites hiding in it would cause mischief in your house. In the modern world, the 12 days have largely been swallowed up by the holiday season, which now seems to start roughly 45 minutes after Halloween ends. We've traded the 12 days of slow-burning celebration for a 2-month sprint of consumption. But there's something charming about the original concept. The idea that the celebration doesn't end when the presents are unwrapped, but rather, that's when it starts. It's a 12-day period of grace, reflection, and if the song is to be believed, an alarming amount of livestock. Even today, financial institutions like PNC Bank track the Christmas price index. They calculate the actual market cost of buying every item in the song. So, the next time you hear that song on the radio, remember, you're not just listening to a repetitive tune. You're listening to the remnants of a centuries-old tradition of midwinter revelry. A memory game from the 1700s, and a very expensive shopping list for a very confused bird lover. The 12 days of Christmas are a reminder that the holidays aren't just a single day on a calendar, but a season meant to be stretched out, savored, and shared, even if you don't have room for a single leaping lord. Thanks for joining us on What Is. If you enjoyed this deep dive into holiday history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments, if you had to receive 364 of any one item, what would it be? Hopefully something easier to clean up after than a goose. From all of us here, have a great holiday season, all 12 days of it. We'll see you in the next video.